Good morning, CD1. I'm Maggie Cabrera.
Ana Sanchez.
Marisela Soto.
Nick Fields.
Today we're going to be talking about concussions on children and their side effects. Nick, do you have anything to say about concussions?
Yes. Over the past couple decades, it has been shown that concussions can have a very bad effect on adults. What people don't realize is the lasting effects they also have on children. According to an article in the New York Times, research has shown depending on the severity of the condition, the child now has a risk of manifesting symptoms of CTE, also known as chronic traumatic encephalopathy. The symptoms include major depression, memory loss, suicidal thoughts and actions, loss of intelligence, as well as dementia later in life. CTE has also been linked to drug and alcohol abuse as the child enters his 20s, 30s, and 40s.
Very interesting point of view. Thank you, Nick. Marisela, do you have anything to add?
Yes, I read that researchers were learning that the brain damage from concussion could not only add up, but also become permanent, and that was especially true if this mild traumatic brain injuries occurred in rapid succession.
Thank you. Okay, we have an interview with the coach with his professional point of view about this topic.
Thank you, Maggie. I'm at Pierce College with Coach
Murcha.
Thank you. So for you, I want to ask you, what are the common side effects on concussions, immediate and long term?
Okay, so immediate, there's usually balance issues and obviously memory issues. The main way that they test concussions is through a test where they ask them a series of questions and ask them to repeat things. All our athletes here at Pierce College get a base test, so to see what they can do by themselves, and then after they receive a concussion, they get that test again to see the severity of the concussion. So that's stuff like saying a bunch of random words like butterfly, bicycle, car, and then asking them to repeat it. They also do a balance test where they close their eyes and they go on one foot and see how well their balance is. Again, there has to be a base test before a concussion has ever happened to see if anything changes in the athletes. But yeah, memory loss, loss of consciousness is a side effect. From just single concussions, usually it's not too bad. It's just, you can tell that not everything's there. But multiple concussions can have really serious side effects, such as death, severe brain damage, trouble speaking.
Right. How do you treat your athletes after suffering from a concussion?
So the first thing I do is I take them out of the water, because most of our athletes are swimming, or if they're on land, I basically lay them down really softly. I get them some water, and I report it to our trainers as soon as possible. I make sure that they do not continue playing or swimming for the rest of the day. If there's any time they hit their head, whether they think they have a concussion or not, we take it very serious here because there has been problems. So I always just let the athletic trainers know and stop any activities that they had for that day.
Okay. And when do you feel comfortable playing an athlete after the concussion?
So again, I feel like, especially in college, that is not my choice. It is our athletic trainer's choice. So once they give them the okay to start practicing and playing again, that's when I will play them. Without a doctor's note, though, I will never. I won't play them again.
So they have to go to the doctor. All right.
Yep.
Okay. How many concussions can an athlete suffer before he or she stops playing sports?
So a number that's been thrown around a lot is 3. Luckily, in the sport that we have in swimming, we're a relatively low impact sport. So I really haven't seen more than 1 concussion happen. So I'm not too comfortable with this question. I know I've heard the number 3 before. I know football has a lot more concussions. So they deal with that a little bit more. For me, if they have a concussion, I wait for the trainers to let us know when they can play again. And then for me personally, probably if they get a second concussion, I will stop it right there for the sport of swimming, just because
Okay.
I feel like it's not safe.
What role do the parents have after an athlete had a concussion?
Definitely, we let the parents know what happened, and it's a lot of things are also their choice to talk to their child and find out how they're doing. But again, without a doctor's note, even if parents want them to keep swimming or playing, we will not do it until a doctor okays it. Because a lot of times parents can be really pushy for their kids to perform well, and some parents are great and really care about the safety of their children, but there are also parents that kind of push their kids a little bit too far. So our main concern is the athlete themselves, so we will not play them until they're completely 100% okay to play again.
Is it true that an athlete can lose memory after a concussion?
Yes,
Okay.
definitely.
And-
Especially the immediate memory, I know, leading to the concussion, from my experience, a lot of times athletes are very hazy. They don't remember what happened like up to an hour before,
Oh,
you know.
wow.
Yeah.
Oh. What is the side effect on older people? Like I heard this can lead to Alzheimer's.
Yes. Especially, I know I've seen documentaries about football players, especially, that it leads to Alzheimer's, and it leads to a variety of different mental disorders that can affect the athletes when they get older. I know there's a bunch of migraines that can happen, very chronic, painful migraines can be also another side effect of concussions.
All right.
Yep.
Thank you. And this is it. Back to you, Maggie.
That was very interesting feedback by Coach Mirza. We hope that this was a useful topic, and we hope everyone got useful information. This is CD1, Table 4. Thank you.